So looks maxing this, looks maxing that, you've become more attractive, you got your fitness right, you got your style right, you are literally the best version of yourself. But now what? You see, the looks maxing community and the looks maxing trend, I believe is super important because, let's be real, image is everything nowadays. How you look is gonna affect your confidence, it's gonna affect your dating results, it's gonna make just overall the game easier. But guys kind of get stuck once they reach that level of making themselves more attractive. They think that's kind of where it ends, but that's not the case whatsoever. And this is something that I've realized in my own personal life because I used to think the same thing. Back in 2018, 2017, some might say that I was kind of average or even unattractive. And so I set a goal for myself to make myself more attractive. And 2021, 2022, I felt like I was really growing into the identity of this new handsome man that I've created. I started getting a lot more female attention. I started posting pictures on Instagram that were getting a lot of likes for no reason. I literally felt the experience of what it is like to be more handsome. Now, once you get past all that, what you really have to ask yourself is, first off, what were you really doing it for? Now, most guys, especially if you're watching this channel, is going to be for more dating success. You want women to desire you, to pursue you. You want to attract your dream girl. You just want people to pay attention to you. You don't want to feel invisible when you walk in a room. And that's totally fine. However, you're still going to be invisible if you don't present yourself. That's what the handsome guy doesn't realize, or that's what the guy who made the looks maxing transformation doesn't realize. You made yourself more handsome, but now you have to learn how to effectively market yourself. That's where the real game begins. Because guess what? I can be handsome all I want sitting in the studio, not going outside, just going to the gym, coming home, but that doesn't do me any good. I'm still gonna have the same results with women. I'm still gonna have the same network, the same experiences, because I have not implemented a marketing technique. And so once you do feel like you've grown into that handsome version of yourself, you now have to learn online marketing. You see, I relate marketing sort of like to a business. So when it comes to the online marketing of yourself, you either have to do it organically or run ads. Organically would mean you posting pictures on Instagram, you showing off your looks, your physique, you showing yourself in cool places. You have to do that consistently, but also you can run paid ads. I'm not even joking. You can literally run paid ads towards your IG, targeting women. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But also going back to the dating app strategy, if you buy the dating apps now, these are essentially your paid ads towards you, which you are the product. You're promoting the product yourself to our target audience, which is women. Please keep in mind, doesn't matter how handsome you are, if you don't have the right marketing strategy behind it, it's going to be useless and it's going to feel useless. And because of that, you're going to fall off your routines. You might stop taking the gym seriously because you're not seeing the results in which you expected because you don't have the right online marketing strategy. Now, I actually help guys implement all these strategies I've talked about, not only making yourself more handsome, which we do work on, but also implementing a digital dating strategy, primarily through Instagram alongside with dating apps. Because one thing handsome guys do too is that they kind of lead too much with the looks and think their looks were gonna carry themselves. But the truth is, you still gotta learn different aspects and optimize yourself in such a way that really positions you in the top 1% of the 1%. You're already in the top 10%, which is good, but trust me, there's so much more room to improve. In fact, I was working with a client of mine, his name is Cameron, and Cameron was a decently attractive guy. And he came to me and his goal was to become even more attractive and learn how to present that in an even more attractive way. But then I started working with him and I started finding his blind spots. I started seeing things in which, yeah, you were decent before, but once we implement this little tweak here, you're now gonna be a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, right? So if you personally want me to help you out in terms of implementing a digital dating strategy with Instagram and dating apps, then I encourage you to click the link down below, hop on a free call with us to see how we can personally help you out with that. Now, here's also what you have to remember, and that is the game doesn't end, it just got easier. Before you looks max, before you got handsome and more attractive, the 5s and 6s were pretty difficult to get. They were flaking on you, they were showing a lack of interest. But now, because you're that 7.5, 8, or even 9, 5s and 6s, they're easy. They're gonna come right over, they're gonna show high interest. But do you know where the game is still difficult at? It's those 8s, 9s, and 10s. You see, now you're competing with a different league of men. You're not competing based on attractiveness, because at your level and the type of woman you're trying to get, attractiveness almost becomes more of a commodity. Same thing with money and status. The 9s and 10s, all the guys they date are handsome. All the guys they date have money. But the 5s and 6s, you know, they still have the 4s, the 3s, the unattractive guys pursuing them. So they become easier based on hypergamy, right? Because women always want a man that's better than themselves. And so that's going to be easy. However, it's still fairly difficult to attract the really, really attractive women. And you will soon start to realize that being handsome really isn't enough. You got to understand female psychology. You got to have your game on point. You got to learn how to talk. You gotta learn how to text. You gotta learn how to not be too persistent or over pursue. Like, there's all these moving parts to the game that you don't realize that happen. And this only happens after you've fixed the front end, fixed the face card, fixed the body. Like I said, attracting the not really attractive or the average to, you know, cute girls becomes fairly easy, but it's still a whole different league for those bombshell type of women. Keep in mind, most guys want like a 7 or like maybe like an 8. Somebody who they're excited about, attracted to, but also provides a lot of value to their life. And that's for sure gonna be fairly easy for you once you made yourself into that 8 or 9. But if you're still aiming for the high tier, top tier model looking girls, just know being handsome is just not gonna be enough. It's not. Unless you're their perfect phenotype and you caught them at the right place, the right time, you were marketing yourself in the right way too, which can definitely happen, then that's pretty much the only case in which your looks in itself can really lead and help you with that attraction. I mean, another way too is that you use your looks to help increase your status, which is going back to the digital strategy, right? Posting yourself on Instagram, posting the right type of pictures, having the right content strategy. You can actually gain status through your looks in itself. So gain followers or whatever else just by being handsome. And that in itself could also make your dating life a lot easier if you were to leverage that in the right way. Now, here's what you got to realize too, is that you still have weaknesses and you still have flaws. After a certain point of looks maxing, you're going to notice simply diminishing returns. If I go from like an 8.5 to a 9, does that really make a difference? Will I really attract like another tier of woman by making myself marginally more handsome, even though I'm super handsome already? Probably not. And so what you have to do is stop focusing so much on the looks maxing aspect once you've done the basics or have enhanced yourself to the fullest, and now focus on the things that you know you need to improve. The way you do this is through a self-audit. I do this with all my clients who come in and work with me. We do this on our first call. We kind of go through, you know, what you're good at, what you're bad at, what we need to work on. But you also need to do this yourself. You need to analyze, okay, I'm good at my looks. I'm good at maybe taking pictures, but I'm really bad at communication. I'm bad at actually setting dates. I'm bad at physical escalation. I'm bad at keeping a woman around long enough to where she potentially would want to be my girlfriend or wife, whatever it may be. So you really have to holistically look at your whole entire dating strategy and yourself internally as a whole, as a man, and understand that you still have things you probably can improve. If you're not attracting 10 out of 10 every week, if you're not going on at least 2 to 3 dates a week or however many dates you personally would want to, if you don't consistently have women in your life, if you're not being, let's say, validated on your looks in itself, I would say all these things showcase proof that you need to work on yourself in other ways in which you probably didn't realize. I've also done this myself. I know that I wasn't perfect. I mean, getting myself more attractive was the start. But once that happened, I realized so many blind spots opened up for me. I had a problem. I mentioned this a lot. I had a huge problem with physical escalation. Like it was just very uncomfortable for me. You know, maybe you have a problem with talking to strangers. I don't know, whatever it may be. This is where you focus on fixing that next part so that you can become that complete man. 10 out of 10. High SMV, because looks is just the first part. It will allow you to open many doors, but it's still going to be on you to close and lock that door. All right. So once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one to learn a digital dating strategy with Instagram dating apps, so that way you can actually leverage your looks in the right way, click the link down below. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.